Okay, here's our third lesson on the Pig Latin translator. And the first lesson, we created this interface. Then in the second lesson, we wrote this code. The general rules of Pig Latin is if it starts with a vowel, you now add the word way on the end. So apple, for example, will become apple way. But if it starts with a consonant, there's your else, then instead you take whatever the first character is and add it to the end of the word, and then you remove from the word the first character. How remove works is that you have to tell it what position to start removing and how many characters to remove, in this case just one. And then we put the results into the rich text box. So what I want to do now is to be able to do more than one word, because if you'll notice, if I let's say apple and worm, for example, and I translate that, well, it just puts way on the end of worm. We want it to say apple way urmway, okay? Apple way urmway. Okay, so that's how that works. So what I want to do is I want to create an array of words. And then we can go through each word and we could do this to each word. So I'm going to dim words. It's an array. And I'm going to say as string and equals the rich text box dot English. Oops. Oh, come on. Not dot English. English dot text. And then I want to say dot split. So I'm going to split it up. I mean, what we could do is we could go through every single character, right? And we could look for a space, or we could look for a period, or we could look for a comma that somebody might have written in there. And we could say, all right, there's where we're going to split it. Split. And then what I could do is I could start to tell it how to split it. And I think we have to specify in curly brackets, I want, quote, period, comma. I have to put all these in quotes, right? Because they're text. So I got a period. How about a comma? Which gets confusing after a while because you see commas separating these. And then you see a comma inside one. Comma. And how about a space? So a period, a comma, a space. You know, I suppose you could add in there exclamation marks. You could put in question marks. Who knows what they're going to put. And I think you can also specify other options. Split options. String split options. That's what it is. String split options. And then none. I don't know what those options are, but if you wanted to, you could look into those and see for yourself. So, okay, what have I done wrong? I'm gonna cheat, and I'm gonna paste in my other code here. What did I do differently? I don't see what I did differently, except for let's dim this out and see if what have I done differently, except for as string. I guess that's you don't need to declare it as string. So there you have it. So now we have an array of words. What I think is cool about this is that you don't have to pre-specify an array like we've done before. And when you pre-specify, you have to pre-populate it, and there's a very specific number of entries in that array. Well, when you do it this way, it creates that array from the text, and however many words determines how long that array is going to be. So now I've got all these words into a words array. So can I do a for loop? I can go for x as integer equals 0 to, well, let's count them, huh? So we go words.count. Of course, this count is like humans count, 1 to how many. So I'm going to go -1 on there. Okay, so we're going to go through each word in there. And we're going to do all this stuff. At least this. And in here. So instead of saying word is whatever the entire text box is, now we're going to say word is equal to words x. So we got all the words in this array, and the first word, word 0, is the first word. And then it comes and does it again, word 1 is the next word, word 2 is the next one, and goes through and does that until every word has been translated. Okay, so now we got this first word translated, because all this is going to stay the same, right? But when we're all done, you got a new word. And what we want to do is we want to add that to our rich text box. So I think we're going to need another variable. Okay, so dim, how about results? Results as string. You could set it equal to nothing to begin with. And don't forget, you'll have to reset it if you want to do another group. So every single time you do a word, we better add word to results. So results is equal to whatever results was. Again, you might be able to do plus equal. Plus word. But don't we also want to put like a space? So plus space. That way our results are all spaced out words. Now, when we're all done, instead of putting that one last word in there, we're going to put the entire results into our PigLatin rich text box. Could it really be this easy? Okay, let's just try it, and then I think we're going to, if it works, that's great. Okay, 2 words translate. Oh my, it didn't add the A to this one. It moved the consonant to the end, but it didn't add the A to it. So what is going on? Okay, I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, we're back, but you know what? I discovered something, and we did that last test. I didn't complete the else. Because not only do you have to add the first character to the end, and maybe some of you noticed this in my lesson too, but I'm also going to have to add ay to the end of that to make that work. Now let's do another test, and let's see. Okay, so here we go. 2 words. Wate, Erdsway. You could tell I'm not very good at this. Hey, let's add another word. 2 words. Apple. Translate, Apple Way. Gosh, this is working out great. Does this mean we're actually done? Oh, I'm done, but you're not. So we're going to have to now do this to double Dutch. So this is going to be our third and final lesson. I just wanted to bring up the I have a killer double Dutch array for you right here. And I want you to be able to follow the rules of double Dutch. And this one is going to be actually fairly hard. I think I'm going to go ahead and do another lesson.